What is up, YouTube? Back for another quick video on the 25 Mr. Chrome RTR. Today we are finally installing our Whipple competition open air box kit. All right, guys, so for anyone who follows the channel, we have finally broken our 500 mile mark. I believe we're at about 520 miles. So we did the AMSOIL full synthetic signature series oil change. She's broken in, she's got her fresh oil. So it's time to start the mods. So the first one had to be the Whipple open airbox kit with the blue Whipple filters. Also ordered some custom black hose clamps to match all of the Whipple clamps so that everything looks uniform. We'll get rid of these ugly silver ones and we're gonna go with the black ones just like Whipple used on all of their stuff. But I will say I did forget that this is going to be open, so you need one for the air filter, and I only ordered 3 instead of 5, so we'll have to add that after. But you get the point. So without further ado, let's get to the disassembly and the assembly of these new air boxes, and let's see how they look. And be sure to check back soon for a follow-up video on a full sound comparison of the stock air boxes versus the open. Is to remove the 10mm bolts on the front and the back of the air boxes. There's 2 of them each that you're going to take out, as you can see on the passenger and the driver's side. Then I loosened the hose clamp on the throttle body, and I removed the MAF sensor on both the passenger and driver's side, as well as the PCV hose. After that, you can pop open the clips for your airbox lids, remove both of those lids, and then get yanking on that sucker and try to remove it. It is on there pretty good with that rubber hose, but you'll be able to pull it out, and then you can set that aside. Then you're going to want to pull your 2 bottom parts of the airbox out. That'll come with those snorkel 2 for behind your grill. You're going to get a flathead, and then you're just going to pry those little snorkel intakes off because we're going to reuse those. Then you're going to grab your new Whipple airbox, and you're going to put that weather stripping on, which is a total kick in the sack and an absolute bear to do, but we got it done after about 10 or 15 minutes. And then you're going to just install that bracket. Make sure it's facing down. I did forget to record that, so that is my apologies. Then you're going to start installing the snorkels first behind your grill, and then you're going to put your air boxes in. Do not tighten them down with the bolts yet, because it's going to need to be able to get moved when you're trying to put that intake tube in. Then you're going to grab that grommet from the driver's side airbox, put that on the new one, and you're going to use that as well. I think I snugged the bolt just a little bit to make sure it was in place, but I wound up taking it out later on in the video, as you'll see. So the passenger side is much more difficult to get in than the driver's side. It's very crammed over there, and you really have to try to finagle it and finesse it in order to get it to fit in. Once you have both air boxes in place, you can slide in your 2 new air filters as well as the hose clamps around those to make it easier on yourself. I removed the MAF housings from the intake tube, and I secured those to the air filter. Once you have those all secure, then you can try to work in your intake tube, which is also going to be another kick in the caliunes. But after about a half an hour, I was able to get it. What I recommend doing is put it on the driver's side air filter first, then the throttle body, and then the passenger side air filter. Then you're going to want to just connect your PCV. You can finally tighten down all of those bolts that secure your air box, as well as install all of your new clamps. Make sure both MAF sensors are plugged back in, as well as the PCV. Tighten all your clamps, tighten all your bolts, check all the connections, and you're finally done. All right, guys, and there you have it. The whole install took me, I'm not going to lie, about an hour and a half. I had a tough time with getting everything here to fit properly. So how I wound up doing it, if you can tell from the video, is you install the air boxes, then you put the MAF housings in, and then the intake tube last. I took all the hose clamps off, opened them up, and then put them on at the very end, so I didn't have to worry about them. But it definitely was a little tedious and a little frustrating to get on. We did make it work, but definitely not my favorite thing to install, and I was hoping it would be a little bit easier. But this is how she looks. You can see the black clamps. I think they look pretty nice. Makes it really discreet, and you don't see those bright silver hose clamps like you see right there. So I did order new ones for this, and we'll just pop them off and throw them on once they come in. So overall, I think it looks really good. Super happy with it. Now let's start it up and see how it sounds.